Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. We have Jared Goodwin here in the studio. He is the state coordinator of hunter education for ODFW, giving you a heads up on how easy this process is. And I know that I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. If we don't have kids coming up behind us that want to be in the outdoor world, if they don't want to get into hunting, they don't want to get into fishing, and we start losing that population of the user group, understanding, of course, that fishermen and hunters, fisher people and hunters are the true conservationists. If it was not for hunters and fishermen, this would have been gone a long time ago, trust me. There'd be buildings everywhere, commercial projects done that would have eliminated. Thank you, Mr. Roosevelt. But we're not going into a history lesson today. But this is a program that you can utilize to get those kids involved, maybe get them unplugged, right? Yeah. And get them understanding of how important those outdoors are. I know that when my daughter gets out there, her eyes just explode. And I know that you've had a chance to see this in your experience as well, that you're just opening up a new world to the kids and understanding that this is fun, but you have to know how to do it the right way. And you also have to know when to do it. So every family is a little bit different. My family, I'm a bow hunter, so we start everything in the fall, right? I'm looking forward to waterfowl season. I don't rifle hunt yet, but there's always a perfect time of the year to get going. So for folks like me that maybe want to get something started in the fall, the early fall, when is a good time to start this process with the kids?
We like to see them at least a couple months ahead of before their seasons are going to actually start.
Okay.
There's several reasons for that. Is you got to remember that our programs are volunteer driven. Again, can't stress enough that our programs wouldn't exist without our volunteers.
Sure.
And we have a great group of volunteers out there. So they are also passionate about the sports and being involved in it themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
So come hunting season, they're going to want to be out in the woods just like you are.
Sure.
So trying to get your stuff done ahead of time, if you're looking at an early fall season, you probably want to try to get your stuff done June, July timeframes.
Okay.
If you're looking at early spring, I would try to look January, February and get those done prior to getting out there. And then families in general nowadays have so many competing things. You know, they get volleyball and baseball and football and
soccer.
Yeah. All those sports out there that kids are getting involved in. It's great seeing them involved in all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you know you're going to have competing schedules and hard to find things, as try to think ahead on Hunter Ed and try to get in those classes. We have them posted year round that you can get into, instead of trying to get into them at the last minute.
Sure.
Myself and my volunteers across the state, they're going to try everything they can to get kids involved, because that's what we want to see. But there's only so much we can do when it gets down to crunch time.
So maybe a little bit of a side note, how is the participation these days on youth getting into the Hunter Ed program and then ultimately getting into the hunting sport? Is there a number, or is there a way that you guys are able to kind of track that as far as kids getting involved?
Yeah, we've come up a little more, or back up to more normal for Oregon, coming out of COVID and all that stuff.
Okay.
We're running around 4,000 to 4,500 kids through Hunter Ed a year in the state. It had dropped for a little while, but we've come back up and are in pretty good shape. We'd still like to see that get back to some of our historical numbers. We're closer to 5,000 and 6,000.
Gotcha.
So just making sure that kids are involved. They have more options now with the mentored program and stuff like that. Yeah. Some people are choosing to do those for a couple years before they take Hunter Ed.
Gotcha.
And that's fine too. But we want to see them, encourage them to get them out there and get them in Hunter Ed as soon as possible.
Yeah, and it's certainly something that's going to lay the groundwork for a number of different things, let alone getting into the outdoors, but like you mentioned, ethics. And again, if the kids ultimately decide, you know, hunting's not for me, maybe I love fishing. But if they're not exposed to the outdoors and some of that, maybe they just want to get into hiking, for crying out loud. I couldn't care less. If they're outside enjoying the resource, they're going to want to defend it. And oddly enough, that's actually a real thing. It's sad as heck to say that, but it's true. It's one of those things that we have to look forward to our future. I'm scared to death, quite honestly, about where these kids are going to be and where things are going to go with what we love so much. But it's not just kids. There's classes for adults that they can go through that are put on by ODFW every year. You can find them online. Countless different classes that you can get into. Is there like a reference or an idea of maybe what some of those classes might be for adults that might want to do this themselves?
Yeah, we do offer some adult-only hunter ed, so if somebody's feeling too awkward to come join the kids, which I think joining the kids is more fun.
Probably fun, yeah.
But we also offer a variety of how to hunt waterfowl, turkey, pheasants. We've done a couple of dove workshops.
Oh.
We also have a glassing class, learn how to use your binoculars and spotting scopes more effectively.
Yeah.
We have an intro to big game hunting class that we do in different spots of the state. That's just a couple hour overview class, help you get an idea how to get involved in our sports.
Sure.
And they're very good classes, and anybody can attend them, even if you're already a rifle hunter and you want to get into duck hunting and you don't know much about it.
Sure.
Come in, and we got some good instructors that can teach you the basics of what you need to know to get out there and be successful.
I've heard it over the years many times where folks, full-blown adults that maybe never really got into the outdoors, but then talk with someone, they get a little interested, but like, well, how in the world do you do it?
Yeah.
Go to ODFW's website. There's a ton of great information there for a number of different things. And I say this because I underutilize that website. I rely on different things, word of mouth, covering ground, but you can save yourself a lot of that effort by utilizing the website. There's ways that you can find places to go hunting. There's places that you can find that class that'll help you become more confident in getting in to hunting for the first time, because it can be a little bit intimidating. I know that you've run across that before. Trying to take those walls down is super important. Again, we're talking about hunter education for youth, of course, but it's for everyone. Those options are out there where you can become educated. Maybe if you're I love this one. Maybe if you're someone who's like, hunting is bad. Well, it's most likely because you have zero clue what you're talking about. Taking one of these classes to learn about what is really going on can be very educational, and for that matter, it might help you, well, go make your own food. I mean, for crying out loud, that's why I do it. I mean, I love being out there, but we love eating them. There's a reason for it. Anyway, we're always short on time, Jared. Any final thoughts that we can make sure that everyone's aware of before we wrap it up?
Just if you ever thought about being a volunteer and want to get involved, you got some good knowledge and passion for our sport, want to come join us, we're always looking for good people. And I can't tell you, I never get tired of hearing people being so excited about the things they learn and the things they get to do and the experience they had when they do it. So,
well, you're doing a great job. My daughter was super excited about that program. When everything was said and done, she got a little orange card.
Yep.
She had a smile from one side of her. Now she's like, it's on you. You got to take me hunting now. I'm like, all right, well, that's what we've been waiting on forever. So well done.
That's what we want to hear.
Thanks for coming in and sharing some info. As basic as it might be, go online, utilize that information, get the kids involved. And if you're watching out there, maybe you've been fishing your whole life, never got into hunting, don't know how to do it. Well, now you do. It's pretty easy. Go utilize that website, and you're going to meet some people that are, well, happy to help you get out there. So again, Jared, thanks for coming in. When we come back from this break, I'm going to have Big Dave Manners from the North Coast Live chasing some salmon around with clients. We'll see how things are going and how wet it really is. It sounded pretty wet when we talked to him earlier. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. And by Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective.